Tortoise beats hare is a classic tale that, if you asked me, rings true in the finance world. Take, for example, Warren Buffett, who despite being one of the richest men in the world, still manages to live frugally. How does he do it? In this video, we'll be sharing with you 12 of the best frugal living tips that really work, from Warren Buffett. 1. Live below your means. Living below your means means not spending on things you don't really need and choosing a simple way of life. This helps you save more money and feel less worried about finances. Buffett values a good life over buying lots of stuff. He's been content with his lifestyle all his life. He likes simple things and doesn't feel the urge to buy a huge house, fancy boat, or flashy car. He prefers not having to deal with lots of stuff to take care of. As Buffett would put it, "I'm not interested in cars and my goal is not to make people envious. Don't confuse the cost of living with the standard of living." 2. Know the true value of money. Knowing the true value of money is more than just looking at how much something costs. It's about realizing how hard someone worked to earn that money and what it can actually get for them. For example, if you worked really hard to earn $10, you might think twice about spending it quickly because you know the effort it took to get it. You might consider if what you want to buy with it is really worth that hard-earned $10. So, understanding the real value of money helps you make smarter choices about how you spend it. It helps you appreciate the work that went into earning it and make sure you get the most out of what you buy. 3. Avoid getting into debt, especially bad ones. Debt is like carrying a heavy load that can hold you back from using your money freely. It's a good idea to try not to get into debt and focus on paying off any money you owe. Being free from debt is like being on a good path. It makes managing your money much simpler. Imagine if you didn't owe anyone money. You'd have more control over your finances and could use your money for things you really want or need. That's why it's better to stay away from debt and work towards being debt-free. 4. Save before you spend. When you make saving a top priority, you're making sure your money grows over time. It's like planting seeds that will grow into a big tree of wealth. This helps you avoid spending too much and stay within your budget. Think of it like this. Before you pay for anything else like bills or expenses, set aside some money for yourself. Treat it like an important payment, just like paying for a bill. After all, you work hard for your money, so it's important to make sure some of it is saved for your future. This way, you're not only working for today, but also for a better tomorrow. 5. Buy quality that lasts. When you buy things, try to choose ones that are really good and worth the money, just like Warren Buffett does when he invests. Sometimes these things might cost more at the beginning, but they last a long time. This means you don't have to keep buying new ones over and over. Imagine if you bought a really good backpack for school. It might be a bit more expensive, but it lasts for years without falling apart. On the other hand, if you buy a cheap backpack, you might have to replace it every few months because it gets worn out. In the end, you'll spend less money by investing in something of good quality. It's like getting more value for your money in the long run. 6. Don't follow trends. Stick to classics. It's not always a good idea to buy things just because they're popular at the moment. Sometimes these trends go out of style quickly, and you might end up spending money on something you won't use for long. Instead, it's smarter to choose things that are classic and stay useful for a long time. Warren Buffett, for example, has a simple approach. He wears the same kind of shoes and drives basic cars that don't have a lot of fancy features. He doesn't try to show off or impress others with flashy stuff. He knows that it's better to invest in things that are dependable and stay good for a long while. This way, you get more value out of what you spend. 7. Treat your savings as an expense. Think of saving money like an important thing you have to do, just like paying for your house or food. This means putting some of the money you earn into a special place for later, like for when you really need it, or when a good chance to invest comes up. It's like making sure you have a safety net. Before you use your money for anything else, make sure you've saved some. This way, you're always building up a little stash for the future. It's like being prepared for whatever might come your way. So, remember, save first, then spend. 8. Cook at home instead of dining out. Going out to eat often can cost a lot of money. Making food at home is a cheaper option, and it lets you decide how much and how good your food is. Even Warren Buffett, who has a lot of money, likes to eat at places like McDonald's and Dairy Queen sometimes, which are not very expensive choices. So, cooking at home can save you money, and you can make your food just the way you like it. You don't have to be super rich to make smart choices about where you eat. 9. Don't keep up with the Joneses. Warren Buffett never felt the need to try to outdo Jeff Bezos by buying really fancy things like a huge yacht or a mansion in a fancy place. Trying to keep up with what others have can sometimes make you spend money in ways that aren't very smart. It's better to pay attention to what you really need and what you're aiming for with your money, rather than worrying about what others have. Be honest with yourself about what's important to you and what you want to achieve. That way, you'll make choices that really matter to you. 10. Don't waste your time on non-essential items. Warren Buffett really doesn't like throwing away money. He thinks of it as something he could use to make even more money in the future. Buying things on a whim, especially stuff you don't really need, can use up your savings fast. It's a good idea to stop and think before you buy something. Ask yourself if it's something you really need or if it's just something you want. This way you'll make smarter choices about how you use your money. 11. Use cash instead of credit cards. Warren Buffett likes to use paper money and coins instead of using a credit card. This way, he feels more aware of how much he's spending. For example, let's say you have $20 in your wallet. You can see and feel the money. When you spend it, you physically hand it over to pay. This makes you realize how much you're giving away. On the other hand, if you use a credit card, you don't see the money leaving your hand. It's like magic. You just swipe the card and get your stuff. This can sometimes make it easier to forget how much you're actually spending. So, using cash can help you stay more mindful of your spending and make sure you don't go overboard. It's like a way to keep a close eye on your money. 12. Maintain a simple lifestyle. Warren Buffett doesn't feel the need to have lots of expensive things, especially when you look at how much money he has. He still lives in the same house he bought way back in 1958, and he's had the same car for more than 5 years, as long as his family lets him. Living simply means not spending on things that aren't really necessary. It helps you concentrate on what really matters in life. It's like realizing that being happy and content isn't something you can buy with money. If you liked today's video, please give us a like, subscribe, and make sure to ring the notification bell to get more content like this.